A mystery in webcomic fashion. Enough codes and games to fill a passion. A neighborhood challenged by real change. A girl picks a boyfriend to exchange. The making of a Navy SEAL. A local hero becomes real. It all happens at your Scholastic Book Fair. A place where you can find the books that you want to read. Your Scholastic Book Fair. It's the place to be. It's where you can open a world of possible.
Imagine if you were a 14-year-old boy. Underneath an old, antiquated building, you find 12 mystical pools of energy, and these pools represent the 12 powers of the Zodiac. In any great adventure story, it must seem as if the hero or heroes just don't have a chance against the villains, who appear to be so much more powerful. Stephen and Jasmine are up against this group called the Vanguard, heavily armed fighting men, and they're out to get as many powers of the Zodiac as they can. How can they win? What chance do they have? And that's what makes it so exciting, and it's all together for you in the Zodiac.
Bella Thorne, actress, model, singer, now author. Inspired by her own life, Bella Thorne introduces us to a fiery redhead named Autumn Falls, who takes on a new school, a meaner-than-mean crowd, and a to-die-for boyfriend. When things start to get a little crazy, Autumn starts writing her thoughts in a journal her father gave her before he passed away. But then things get even crazier when what she writes in the journal starts happening in the real world. So the question is, does she use the journal's possible powers to fit into the new school? Does she use it to win a dream date with superstar Kyler Leeds? Or does she use it to seek revenge? Revenge that could backfire and destroy her life. Find out in Bella Thorne's latest success, Autumn Falls, at your Scholastic Book Fair.
Hi, I'm Jenny Holm, and this is my brother Matt Holm.
And we've just created a new graphic novel called Sunny Side Up.
It's about a girl named Sunny, and she actually goes somewhere. Where does she go again?
Goes to Florida, glamorous Florida. She goes to her grandfather's retirement community. She's expecting sun and fun and maybe Disney World, and instead she starts to get sort of confused and let down.
Buzz, who is this kid who his dad works at the retirement community, he kind of befriends Sunny, and they dodge alligators, they catch missing cats. And Buzz is really into comics.
Yeah, and he really introduces Sunny to this whole world of comics that she wasn't even aware of. I remember I read a ton of comics when I was a kid. Were you into them too?
I was totally into them. So what are some of the funniest parts of the book?
Well, there is this one time when they're hunting for golf balls. So she's out there and she's like, oh, she sees a golf ball whiz by them, plop, lands in the pond, and she takes off her shoes and goes out in the water to pick it up, and Buzz turns around and he starts freaking out.
He's like, Sunny, get out of there!
And she's like, I almost got the golf ball. And he says, but right behind you, it's
Big Al. Big Al is based on a real alligator. Sunny Side Up has action and mystery.
Don't forget the alligators.
Sunny Side Up has action and mystery
And don't forget the missing cats.
Sunny Side Up has action and mystery and alligators and missing cats.
And we know that you're gonna love it.
You forgot one thing.
What?
It also has annoying brothers.
If you like Sisters and other real-life graphic novels, look for Sunny Side Up at your Scholastic Book Fair.
What makes a Navy SEAL? Brandon Webb knows because he wanted to be one since he was 14. He says the first thing you need is belief in yourself. When friends and adults told him it was impossible, it just made him stronger. When he had to face one of the toughest training programs in the world, it made him even stronger. Of the 220 candidates in his SEAL training class, only 23 of them graduated. It's all about excellence and never giving up. And when Brandon saw how just 2 suicide bombers could cripple a huge ship like the SS Cole, he knew it was a new kind of war, and his country needed him. He learned that it took more than courage and strength. It meant keeping a positive mental attitude at the worst of times. What makes a Navy SEAL? Just ask Brandon Webb. He tells it all in his book, The Making of a Navy SEAL. And where can you find his book? At your Scholastic Book Fair.
Dumped by her boyfriend in the parking lot on prom night, Gia has to think fast. The solution? A fill-in boyfriend. And the cute guy waiting by his car will do just fine. But things get really complicated when Gia starts to fall for her fake boyfriend. Go to your Scholastic Book Fair to pick up Casey West's latest, The Fill-in Boyfriend.
Game on! Amazing facts! Jaw-dropping cheats! The most awesome games! The most competitive games! With game-changing advice and secrets from the pros. All this and more in Game On! Get ready to power up at your Scholastic Book Fair.
Okay, search and rescue people, look everywhere. And remember, 3 whistle blows if you see something.
I found someone! I think she's dead!
I'm telling you, they've got the wrong guy. I saw the footprint by the body. No way it's him. The killer is out there. In the woods.
I saw him take her! She's in here! Over here!
It all began with The Body in the Woods, a frightening thriller by April Henry, at your Scholastic Book Fair.
Hi, I'm Jennifer A. Nielsen, the author of A Night Divided. This is a story of a girl named Gerda Lowe, whose family is divided on the night the Berlin Wall goes up in Germany, and what she is willing to attempt in order to bring her family back together again. A couple of years ago, I was working on a story that took place in World War II. I became curious about what happened to Germany after the end of the war. Researching about that eventually led me to the Berlin Wall, and the more I read about it, the more I knew I wanted to write the story for A Night Divided. This event that I'm going to tell you about might not have happened in your parents' lifetime. It probably did at least happen in your grandparents' lifetime. The night was August 13th, 1961. The people of East Berlin went to bed just as they ordinarily would on a Saturday night. But then when they woke up on Sunday morning, something felt different. Down on the street, they could hear hammering and orders being shouted and the sounds of other people down there. So they got dressed and went down to the street. And what they greeted them was something nobody had expected. Surrounding the city of East Berlin was a barbed wire fence, a prison that had been built around the people overnight. Standing in front of the barbed wire fence were their own soldiers. The guns of the soldiers were aimed against their very own people. The message was clear: if you try to cross this fence, you're going to be shot. And yes, even children. If you like a story that's fast-paced, full of adventure and excitement and danger, look for A Night Divided at your Scholastic Book Fair.
Six years ago, my friend Libby and I created Princess X. 3 years later, Libby died in an accident. So why am I now seeing all these stickers in the neighborhood? Stickers with our Princess X. And there's even a website.
What did you find in the fire, Princess X? What did you find in the sky, Princess X? What did you find in the water, Princess X?
Clues. Hidden in a whole webcomic about Princess X, but it really seems to be about Libby. Is Libby behind this? Is she alive?
The deeper she explores the comic, the more shocking the connections between Libby's death and Princess X's storyline. Enter the realm of the Darknet and discover the truth about Libby and Princess X. It's waiting to be discovered at your Scholastic Book Fair.
The old neighborhood is changing. It's starting to become trendy. It's losing its culture and history, and this angers Maya. But her twin sister, Nikki, is embracing every minute of it. She's shopping in the boutiques and drinking fancy lattes. Maya is losing her old friends and doesn't quite trust the newcomers. Now, Maya and Nikki are at odds and no longer agree on everything. There's tension and betrayal. So Maya has to decide where she belongs and how much of the past she needs to hold on to.
My name is Renee Watson, and I'm the author of This Side of Home. This Side of Home is about identical twin sisters, Nikki and Maya, who are living in a neighborhood that is changing. Nikki is so excited about all the new shops that are in her neighborhood. She loves going to the coffee shops. She loves going to the new bakeries and art galleries. But Maya is very hesitant. She feels like the community is losing its heritage, its roots. With all the people who built the community moving out, Maya's afraid that she's losing not only friends and neighbors, but her heritage, her history. And she wants to know where she comes from so that she can understand where she wants to go. I grew up in a neighborhood that was changing when I was a junior in high school in Portland, Oregon. And I thought maybe these changes were just happening in my community. But then I moved to New York and I lived in Brooklyn and I saw changes there. I moved to Harlem and I saw it happening there. I work in the Bronx and I see it happening there. And so I started to think that maybe this is not just about Portland, Oregon, but about many places that people call home. So I wanted to write a story about that. You relate to the characters in This Side of Home because, like you, they go through a lot of changes. Every time Nikki and Maya think that they figured each other out, that they figured themselves out, that they figured the world out, things start to change. So if you're in need of a little inspiration, This Side of Home is a good book for you.
In Kenny Wright's mind, he is stainless steel. Defender of friends, fighter of crime. He is a public school superhero and a star of another hilarious James Patterson novel filled with action-packed graphics, crazy situations, and a hero like you've never seen before. Public School Superhero is waiting to save the day at your Scholastic Book Fair.
Look for these great books and much, much more at your Scholastic Book Fair. Check it out. It's a great place to shop.